Hello again, this is Aaron, and we're continuing our series through the 12 days of Christmas. We've missed a day, so I'm just going to go ahead and do day 8 and 9 together. So here we go. On the 8th day of Christmas, our true love, which is God, gave to us 8 maids of milking, which is an odd thing to give someone because you just gave them 8 women who milked cows, I suppose. And especially in today's day and age, there aren't that many cow milkers around, not like there used to be. Women especially, but that's still a thing. So, what does this mean? 8 maids of milking. So, the reference here is to the 8 beatitudes, which comes from the gospel. There's two versions of it. One's from Matthew 5, the other's from Luke 6. And the different beatitudes are they're the poor in spirit, the meek, they who mourn, they who hunger and thirst after justice, the merciful, the clean of heart, the peacemakers, and those that suffer persecution for justice' sake. And just those the 8 beatitudes, the kind of underlying thing of there is just telling us how we should be as people. This is not this is a major part of the Bible. This is something directly from Jesus here. And there's more after it, but those aren't considered the actual beatitudes because that's more of a summary. Blessed are ye when they shall revile you and persecute you and speak all that is evil against you untruly for my sake. Be glad and rejoice, for your reward is very great in heaven. The thing about those words is just to put us in our position to where we know, as Christians, we are not at home in this world. That mention the world will try to come after us and remove us from the equation. That those who are not Christian are not going to want to interact with us. And how often Christianity is accused of the exact opposite, that we're the ones who are doing the same to people who aren't Christian. We can save that sort of political conversation for another time, but just to know that the rhyme, the 8th day of Christmas, does reflect the Beatitudes here and what that means. So, a gift for this day. Again, this is the first of the year. That's what the Beatitudes will be. So, the 8th day of Christmas is always going to be the first of the year. So, you can think about a gift in relation to what the Beatitudes say. A gift that would reflect being poor in spirit, or meek, or mourning, or hungering, thirsting after justice, being merciful, being clean of heart, being peacemakers, or suffering persecution. I personally feel like the gifts don't really make sense in that light, so that might not be the best thing. Instead, you might think of something to do for the whole year, a gift that reflects what you want for the year, or what you want that person to want for the year. I think that's kind of the best scenario as far as that's concerned. So those are my thoughts on the 8th day of Christmas. Now to the 9th day of Christmas. Is there? Yes. On the 9th day of Christmas, our true love, which is God, gave to us 9 ladies dancing, which sounds like a party to me, but I don't think that's the intended purpose of that. Actually, the 9 ladies dancing in the old tradition references the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit, and this comes from Galatians, which I don't remember the exact verse, but in Galatians, and the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit, commonly understood to be love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity. Often sometimes say goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And these are all great things to have, the fruit of the Spirit. And this is something that a lot of people focus on in their Christian thought, specifically being able to just pursue these virtues, these fruits. And they are wonderful things. I won't go into great detail about what each one of them means. That's something you could look up on your own, of course. Obviously, I think love is considered to be the root of that. In fact, I would say that they are almost in order of importance. Not that self-control isn't important, but the idea of all of these self-control is often seen more as a personal issue rather than something that affects other people, which obviously is not the case 100%, but it's something to think about. So this again will be the second day of January, so we're into the new year. And what could you give somebody as a gift for this holiday? Well, or in reflection of these 9 days. Any of these things would be great. You could also just give somebody fruit. That's not always considered a very good Christmas present. I know my grandmother used to get us oranges for Christmas because that was an old tradition back when oranges and fruits like that were much more difficult to obtain. And nowadays we don't really have too much of a problem getting oranges, depending on where you live, I suppose. But you can give somebody something that reflects love, that reflects joy, that reflects peace. All of these things I do not think would be very difficult to figure out. Again, as long as you're giving them with the intention of, in reflection of what the gift of the Holy Spirit is, and not to tell somebody something like, here's something so that you practice better self-control. That could be awkward. That's not what Christmas is about. Giving people things to lecture them or to torture them or whatever. So, again, this is the 9th day of Christmas. Just kind of detailing what it is, what it represents, and what sort of gift you could give to somebody. So, thank you for listening. Have a very Merry Christmas.